I'm Woman is a movie based on the life of Helen Reddy, who had a very iconic song called I Am Woman. And the movie tracks the rise and fall of her career at the same time as it tracks the rise and fall of the women's movement in America. I think of the song I'm Woman, I wasn't quite old enough to have been to a Helen Reddy concert or to have gone out and bought that single. But I do remember the way it affected my mother and that generation of women in my life. When they heard the song, that it would just take them out of who they were and just make them bolder and stronger and want to go out and change the world. And I think I wanted to make a film that had that same feel about it.
I started by doing just heaps of research, reading everything I could. I became quite obsessed with studying everything I could about her. I swear I could make a museum about her now. I learned all of her interviews verbatim off the internet. It sort of started off like mimicry, I guess. Sometimes really bad. And then we sort of like found what fit within my body and what bits didn't, and I flap around nervously all the time and she's so still and considered. So I really tried to find those little things that made it Helen who she is.
Lillian knew everyone, it seems. She was kind of like the queen of the rock and roll scene in the like 60s, 70s in New York. So it was really fun and interesting to kind of find out about her. I didn't know she existed before, and she was this like pioneer of like rock journalism, and she was Australian, and it was really cool to learn about her.
Well, I met with the real Jeff. He actually reached out to my agent and offered up if everyone wants to talk to me, you know, about my life and everything. He's more than welcome to. I was terrified to play him. He ended up being a lovely man and hilarious and you know, sometimes crass.
Ladies and gents, here's what we're gonna do. I've chosen a radio station, WDRC in Connecticut. We're all gonna call and request Helen's song, and we're gonna call over and over again until their phones explode.
Helen has been involved with the movie since I first met her 6 years ago, and Jeff has also been very involved with the movie. So when it came to showing the film, I kind of felt like it was probably the hardest screening I'm ever going to do, because it is their lives, but it was actually a really beautiful screening. They were very moved by the film. Helen sang along to all her songs, which was amazing. I don't think anybody asked for anything in the end. They let us continue the film with their blessing.
Woo! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.